Testing 1, 2, 3. Is there anybody there? Not sure the audio is getting out here.
The audio is, I think, getting out here. I just muted myself when I had the PG scream in the background, but it looks like the video, the premiere. But I think it's for most persons, it should be over now. So hello and welcome to our memorial live stream. I posted the link in the video chat, and let's see if everybody finds its way.
KK. I have a temporary setup for a camera up high, and he can mess with it. Once I get him, no. I'm going to be going KK, no. Chasing him with Frisbee time. Do you want me to bring the Frisbee over there? I guess you do. I'll go over there and mess with. Okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, see, this is temporary. It's going to have a wall hanger where you won't be able to get to it. You need to get away. Come on, scoot. Scoot. Come on.
KK, you're interrupting Peach's memorial live stream.
He is indeed.
I would just take the darn thing down, but I can't. The way I have it hooked up, I have it strapped on there. It would take me a good 5 minutes to get it out of there. KK.
I'm sure Peach would find his antics very amusing. Should probably use it as a chance to get on the floor while Dad's distracted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she would have.
What are you doing, KK? Why are you being so silly?
Now he doesn't know what to do because Snowball's over there. Snowball's checking it out. I don't think he'll mess with it, though. Snowball? Good boy. Oh, that's not Snowball. That's Cecil. Cecil, what are you doing? Cecil? And Snowball was just over there, but now he's up here. He has managed to, I had the camera in a better position, but he's managed to jerk it around now, so it's not as good. Nope. But I have a wall mount coming for that, so. What you doing? Now, Peaches would have checked it out, too. Anything new in her environment, she always checked out.
She can climb up.
Yeah, she would have climbed up there and checked it out.
She was a good climber. Well, I hope everybody brought their blueberries along today. I went to Asda especially to get some, and they're very nice. So I'm eating them while I watch the live stream.
Excellent. I don't eat them while the live stream because I have my Peachy pillow with me here.
Oh.
And I think Peachy would find it very amusing if it has some sports with blueberry on it, but I don't. There were no blueberries on the table today.
Yeah, and I also have something very special next to me in a plastic box. I have a Peachy piano with two little silk roses and some chewed up toys that belong to Peach that Don sent me. So I've got it on the dining table next to me.
Wow. The Peachy piano, the famous Peachy piano. She played so much beautiful songs on it.
Yeah, in the morning she would play her piano and say hello to me. So.
Yeah. I haven't opened it up to actually play it yet, but I might do that in a little while. We'll see how we feel.
Cecil. Sorry.
Is someone sneaking there? I don't know. I seen it on YouTube, so it's a little bit delayed.
Hey.
Yeah. So someone is back at the tripod. KK, you're not. Or is it K? Isn't it KK?
No,
that's
Cecil. And because Cecil's up there, KK's moved. So Cecil's actually helping. So
Good
he's
choice,
checking it
Cecil.
out. Yeah, that's some of the wire when we were at that temporary location. I had to keep putting on Bob's cage because he was chewing his way out of it. I don't blame him. 32-inch cage. There's no way it's big enough for a Triton. Well, especially not Bob. Cecil. Hello. You're being like Peach. You're waiting until I stop looking, and then you're starting to mess with it. Hey.
Well, he was
Cecil.
friends with Peaches. So he shares some of her characteristics.
Yeah, he was he still is unhappy about her being gone, but he had quite a bit of time there where he was just moping around, unhappy.
Yeah. You were a good friend to Peaches, weren't you, Cecil? You were always kind to her and tried to preen her, even though she didn't always appreciate it.
Yeah, Peachy was like no touchy. She was more the talking friend.
Yeah, sometimes she'd let him do it though.
I think Don sometimes got Cecil to sneak in. So as long as she thought Don is doing it, so she was okay.
Yeah, she never did warm up to being preened by anybody but me. So, and it really would have been nice if other birds could have done it. There's thousands of feathers that she couldn't preen on herself that I had to do. So, not that I minded. It's just I couldn't do them all. Where you get a couple of birds on her and they can have them done in no time. But we humans just aren't as good at preen. No matter how much you do it, we just don't have the ability to preen that fast.
No, and that excellent. They are so skilled with their beaks. So how they can open the keels and the pin feathers and just, bring them in the right position.
Yeah, those beaks are made for preening, I think. So there was a question for you, Don, from Robert Hunter, who wanted to know if you ever had a ringneck.
No, I didn't. No.
We've had quite a few birds come through the sanctuary in your time, but I don't remember one. We had an eclectus and an African grey. We saw the African grey in the video. That was Murray.
We had a barrow-band parakeet. They got an 18-inch long tail, so the word parakeet is often misused. It's like saying I had a car, and there's a whole bunch of different parakeets. Yellow-crowned conure. We had a monk parakeet, which is illegal in California. It was illegal, but we got permission to keep it as long as we didn't have a pair. Alexandrian parakeets, we had 2 of those. At one point we rescued, I think it was 30 budgies.
That's a lot of budgies.
That's a lot of budgies. Yeah, somebody died and didn't have any idea what to do with those birds. We got them all sorted out into homes, but what you doing up there?
So I think we haven't introduced all our chatters who are here and celebrate with us the peaches. Oh, Erin is coming. She wants to read a poem for us.
Oh, lovely.
So let's greet everybody in chat. So Michelle Thompson is here, and she said she's thinking every day about Peach. Then we have Robert Hunter here, and Lisa Banerjee, who thinks the video you did, Dawn, was beautiful. Then we have Rosebud Atkins here, who also wants to join and do a tribute for the Peach. And she thinks KK is fun. And that's why life is so fun, because, yeah, there always happens things. Then, of course, we have Erin here with us. She also joins us today at Zoom because she has also a little tribute for our Peaches. And let's see
everybody.
Hello.
if I miss
Hi, Erin.
anybody. I hope I don't.
There's also Michelle Winfield who just joined, so we've got both Michelles here today.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Got
Wait.
Michelle 1 and
Oh,
Michelle
yeah.
2.
When I scroll down, I see it. Hello, Michelle Winfield. Great to have you. She says, Peaches, we love you and will always remember you.
We do. We certainly do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I did, I wrote a poem for Peaches. If you guys want to hear that, I can read that now.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah, that would be
please
lovely.
do.
Awesome. So I'm Erin. I know you guys have probably seen me in the chat section. So hi to my extended flock family. And so nice to be here to celebrate Peaches today. I wrote a little poem for her. Now, I'm not a professional poet or anything. Just want to make that clear. But this is my poem for Peaches. And it's called Short and Sweet because she was short and sweet. So to know Peaches was a pleasure. She was more than a bird. She was a feathered treasure. Pink and peachy with knowing eyes, full of curiosity and love beyond her small size. Before I knew her wise, peaceful soul, she was Peaches the parrot who took midday strolls. To the mailbox with Don, content on his hand. Against the ocean blue sky, she was peachy pink sand. Where she belonged, with her companion close by, more beautiful and fluffy than the clouds in the sky. She loved to play with toys on the aviary floor or with her own piano, a gift from Eleanor. Better than people, she was a pink dinosaur, content with enough, she didn't need more. Through the bars of her cage, her being could transcend. Her limitations could not deter the love of European friends. She defied the limits of captivity, a certain curse for some, but not for Peaches, who held on until her days were done. When I remember Peaches, I know this isn't the end. Her legacy lives on with every new hello, friend. And that's my dedication for Peaches.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh,
thanks.
that's lovely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Erin. That was
She was-
absolutely wonderful
Aw.
and a perfect tribute to our Peaches. It
Mhm.
You
mentioned so
captured
much
her
what
perfectly.
Yeah.
That was I was hoping. It came very easily just thinking of her and looking at her pictures and thinking of all the fun times we had in the aviary, and it pretty much wrote itself because she was so easy to talk about. So that's a good girl.
All good
Yeah,
poems
that definitely.
write themselves. Yeah.
That's the truth. I remember the one you said, Don, when you were in the desert, I think, and you just wrote like a whole poem as a tribute, I believe.
Yeah, in 20 minutes
Mine.
after hearing a memorial service about a man who lived to be 100, and he had actually filmed a centennial cactus blooming. They only bloom once every 100 years. So,
That's right.
yeah,
That's
so
right.
it was all the best poems come out like that. So
Aw.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You really captured her in that poem. So.
Oh, thanks, Don. Well, I'll be sure to send it to you as well, written out nice and pretty, so you can have it forever.
Oh, thank you. I definitely want that one.
Absolutely. Sweet Peaches, short and sweet.
Yeah, thank you, Erin. And while you have read your poem to us, the two further chatters entered. Margot Helene Ashley is with us, and Aquarius Moon. So hello and welcome. And there are a lot of positive reviews on your poem, Erin. So the people enjoyed it. So thank you very much again.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Yeah, today it's about peaches, and I think a lot of people certainly remember the fight she fought last year, because Peaches was dedicated to life. She really didn't want to go and leave us, but at the end, even her pure spirit of fight wasn't enough, and she had to leave us, unfortunately. Yeah, and since then we try to keep the peachy spirit alive, because it always helped us in difficult situations, and I think it certainly helped us all when we had this difficult time over this year, getting the sanctuary moved from California to Nevada, and always thinking on Peaches, who was a handicapped parrot who couldn't fly, who probably had pain all her life, because she has I think 5 fused vertebrae in her neck, and we are not sure where it was from. So if it was born, or if someone hit her in her early years, we are not sure. But she was handicapped, she was in pain, but even though she wanted to live and she wanted to make the best out of her life, and she greeted every day and was happy life and doing the peachy stuff and exploring the world. As we told before, she liked to start the day with actually playing the piano, the peachy piano. So she was a very special cockatoo in that kind. So she wasn't like others who you cannot do an electric piano in the cage, who would chew it because of the batteries, but Peaches actually only sat on it or played it. So for her it was something really special.
Yeah, she loved that thing.
She wanted to keep it nice.
The Fisher Prize puppy piano she got from our sanctuary member Eleanor, who is here in chat today, and she has the puppy piano, I think, next to her.
I do.
Aww.
I can get it out and play a few tunes if people want, but I don't know if that's too much, or if people would enjoy that. That's assuming the batteries haven't run out.
Well,
she loved to hear her piano.
Yeah, it was so funny with all the colors and the noises, and the fun thing, I think she has had at least one German puppy piano, so all the animals.
Yeah, this is the German one.
We're talking the German sounds.
Klavier spielen. Mache ich am liebsten.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was German.
Oh, my Peaches. We miss you.
Ja. Lass uns Klavier spielen. Das ist am liebsten.
Yeah, Peaches actually had more favor for German music. She was actually, I think, the biggest fan of the band Rammstein. She loved to listen to that music. She was not what you expect, like when you see Peaches or so, you think, yeah, K-pop probably, but no, it was Rammstein.
She'd have a fit if I had everything set up in the aviary and she went out there and Rammstein wasn't playing. And you could try putting on other music. You could try almost anything, but she knew when it was Rammstein. It didn't matter what song it was. She knew. She could tell his, tell Lindeman's voice. She knew it. No, you couldn't figure out about it.
so smart. Such exquisite taste.
Oh, my. It's going again.
Did she get up on the bars and do her exercises?
Yeah, that were the famous peachy gymnastics or peachy, workout.
Yep. She inspired us to better health.
she had trouble with her health and with actually getting up somewhere, but she managed to. She was determined. She climbed the highest perches in the aviary, completely up to the ceiling and down again. And I remember one meeting we had in the aviary outside, and we were all wondering where the Peaches is, because she was on the floor, but we couldn't find her on the floor. And finally found her on behind Don on his chair. So she climbed up herself there. Suddenly we heard a hello, and then he swept the camera, and there was a Peach.
There she was.
Mm.
I have to say, some of my, like, the things that still make me laugh to this day are watching those videos of Don on the couch with, you know, like 3 or 4 cockatoos just kind of moseying around. And then Peaches would, I don't know, somebody would distract Don, and then Peaches would just dive off the couch, just climb her way right down, just make her escape. Just so mischievous and smart.
Absolutely.
and sometimes she tried it several times, and it was always she sat there and was like waiting for Don to song off and be busy with talking to the camera and reading the teleprompter, and then she sneaked her way down.
She knew when the moment was ripe for the taking. So
absolutely. And she sometimes has help with Babaloo, or someone who actually get Don involved in something. So
a literal wingman, a good wingman.
I think so, yeah.
And she'd love to have her picture taken too. I'd take her on those walks and put her up next to some flowers, and she just make a big old, most of these birds, if you go to take a picture of them, they don't seem to appreciate that at all. But she knew what was going on, and she would make her best pose for me.
Yeah, she pretty much smiled as much as you can with a beak. She smiled.
She sure did. Well, it looked like in the video, in one of the pictures, it looked like she was checking out her reflection in the bottom of the oven on the shiny panel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I can see myself in the mirror.
Wow, what a good looking bird.
Of course, she was on the floor. Such a happy floor, Peach.
Oh.
I think the floor was her freedom, where she could walk around and get around, as the other birds could fly in the air. She could walk on the floor, or better said, she turtled.
She made it work.
Yep. Yeah. She wasn't quick, but she sure got to where she wanted to go.
Slow and steady.
Yep.
You could always read her emotions too. It was just obvious when I first got Sugar here. I couldn't even say Sugar's name. I'd say Sugar, and she'd start immediately complaining. And the look on her face, like, how dare you talk to that other bird?
Yep, Don was her person. Her right-hand man.
Cecil and Peaches were always, no matter where we were, their cages were always close together, and they'd get over and talk to each other back and forth. Cecil would make a noise, and she'd make a response, and they'd go back and forth for a while. I used to say they were trying to plan to take over the world.
Yep, sounds about right.
And Bob always let her into his area on the left-hand side of the couch. He'd chase the others away, but he'd let her in, usually.
Yeah, I'm still fighting the left-hand side of things with him. I only made it 20 minutes yesterday. I've got him in here with the other aggressive of Cause, and I just keep them apart, and and Cause got down on the floor. I told Cause wouldn't listen to me, and the Bob came over, and I had to take them both out of the room. But that's the next stage now, is putting the two that won't get along with anyone in here and teaching them to get along. So I don't think it'll take too long. But now Peaches was around, she wouldn't put up with that kind of fighting. She never was much of a fighter. So
Yeah,
She's a
and I think
lover.
the others knew not to mess with her. They knew she was special and that they weren't allowed to bother her.
I used to say she had a little bit of Mahatma Gandhi in her because she got along with everybody and she was nonviolent. So
Yeah.
But she could sure scream.
As she could
Oh.
have fits. Peachy fits where all the feathers went up, and then there was the not the happy Peachy song, but the I'm annoyed Peachy song, or I'm not okay with that, and then the beep,
Yeah.
And then highly annoyed mumbling.
So cute.
Oh, there was a question from Sarah who wanted to know what happened to her, and well, it's been a year since she died, so we're just remembering her when it's a bit less new and fresh, I guess. But what happened is she had an avian virus that eventually took her life. She fought it for a long time, but she was just too weak at the end to fight back, so we lost our Peach.
And that avian virus is, unfortunately, lots of captive parrots have that. It's kind of a ticking time bomb. You just don't know.
There's no cure for it. You can manage it, and if the bird's healthy, they can live a long time. But she already had a lot of chronic health problems already, so in the end, it was too much for her.
And
So
there's
and
6
along with Sarah C, Rita Bollard joined us, and also
Hi,
Sean
Rita.
Mills is here. So lots of faces we know from the other chats are here today with us to celebrate the Peach, who was a great bird and a great inspiration to us all, to all the flock members. They all, I think, still miss her. They all showed different signs of mourning after Peaches was gone. So Jasmine has picked up the Peachy song. She never did a Peachy song before Peaches died, but afterwards she now and then makes we call it, of course, Jasmine song with her, but it's basically the Peachy song she picked up from the Peach. And when Don was obviously really sad, or so, she sang the Peachy song for him to cheer him up, and that was so endearing.
She still does that. She did it for me yesterday.
Yeah, I think in one of the Manda videos you posted, I heard a Peachy or a Jasmine song in the background. When Manda was doing jungle sounds, I think in the background I heard like beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I think Cecil is still the one who misses her probably the most. He was her best friend. They had cages often next to each other, and they had their talks, so they could sit there and face each other and talk for hours.
Yeah, they were fun to watch. They interacted a lot. More when they were in the cage, because Peaches never let a bird get too close to her. It's obviously she liked Cecil. She trusted him to the most she would trust anybody, but just didn't trust birds in general. Got along with them. She just didn't want them up close.
Although should let them snuggle pretty close with her in your lap. Should let Pippa snuggle into her feathers, and also Cosy.
Yeah.
Those two never bothered her, because Pippa can be a bit of a pugilist, but she never bothered Peach.
Mm-hmm.
Peaches had that special aura, I guess, that personality that everybody appreciated to some degree.
Or
I
at
didn't
least
trust people.
respected.
Yeah, I didn't trust people who didn't like Peach, so. And she would try to make friends with everybody, regardless of whether or not they showed any inclination to being friends with her.
The best kind of person.
This one got along with Peach too, didn't you, Shug?
Oh, the Shug got along fine with the Peaches. One always thinks they were rivals. They, of course, were some kind of rivals when in respect of attention from Dawn, but they could sit next to each other. I think that they haven't sat so much next to each other is probably more that Shuggy doesn't like to sit on humans and prefer to sit on her perch up high, while Peaches love to sit on Dawn. There's one episode actually where Sugar is handing a toy over to Peaches, and Peaches looked very endearing, like, oh, thank you. And that's so sweet. All in super slow-mo, of course, because yeah, that's the way Sugar acted back then.
And when she was at the vet, Snowball went looking for her, wondering where she was, because she wasn't in their cage and she wasn't under the chair where she usually sat. So Snowball obviously missed her.
Yeah, sometimes she sat under the outdoor chair together with Mander, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she
I
did.
think Mander misses his Auntie Peaches. I think she was the nicest auntie he ever had.
Yeah, she wasn't mean to him like the other two aunties.
Yeah, he really feels left out with those two. They don't really want anything to do with him.
Poor baby
He's pretty happy. He's pretty happy now, though. He comes out and he spends an hour with me, sometimes an hour and a half in the morning, depending on what I'm cooking. A regular breakfast, if I have to do something like bake cookies or make the birdie bread, he stays out longer and begs me for edamame.
Oh yeah.
He ate a quarter of a cookie this morning, and then he ate about 10 edamame. But she got along with him. They got along well, actually, compared to the other birds, the other pink birds. They had a great relationship. What are you doing?
So Michelle Thompson just reminded us in chat that Peaches was the chef toy supervisor. So when you made toys, or so Peaches was supervising.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun.
That's another cute memory. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, she used to make toys with me all the time. When I make toys, she was always there.
and she still is. Now she's just on the wall overlooking the entire toy making area.
That's true.
Exactly.
Which was a gift from one of the extended flock family, I think.
It was, yeah, Regina.
Nice. Sweet Peaches.
So is Lucy now sitting on your Peaches shirt? I hope she honors it.
She is right now. Yeah, she's honoring it. She just she looked weird about sitting on the picture, and then I had to bring her up because she didn't want to sit there. Something's wrong. You usually don't have any pictures on your shirt.
Yeah, especially with the birds she knows or she used to know.
Because they'll chew holes in my shirts and everything else. So I don't usually wear something like this in here, but for today.
Well, it's all right, Lucy, because you and Peach could sit next to each other and Don, so I'm sure it's fine if you sit on the t-shirt.
So It's all right there. Get an angle on what's going on over here. That's still in switch. Come on, there's a button.
The only
Pippa's
one.
trying to come on.
Pippa, what are you doing?
Come on over. Get over on this side. Come on. There you go. Good girl. Little encouragement to not get too close to KK.
Yeah, the only one who didn't know Peach is Kiki. So he's probably sitting there like, who's this? Who are you talking about?
Mm.
I'm sure they'd have got along though.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, she had a way with the other birds, making friends. Well, she could do that with almost anybody. Took her to the Renaissance fair. She had a good time. You know, she doesn't have a great sense of balance, so you had to hold her pretty close to you the whole time, but she enjoyed it. Meeting people, just meeting people, one person after another. She was, hello, hello.
Aw.
Cecil, I don't know. You're getting awfully brave in your old age there, kid. Thought about it twice, didn't you? Stepping over Pippa. Don't know about that. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we haven't heard a sneeze from Pippa yet. She's pretty much over the sneezing. She sneezes about like everybody else does now, about the same amount. Occasional sneeze. You can't get all the dust out of the air. No matter what you do, you can't get all the dust out of the air. So I'll try to get you another one there. Peaches would back up away from anything like that. any heavy activity she would back up from, but if he was playing with a frisbee, she would be, I'm backing away from that.
Mm.
And if anyone hit her with a toy or something, she'd fluff up and do a scream like she'd make an awful fuss. It was hilarious.
Yeah, sometimes she got all fluffed up and looked really threatening, like, go away, go away.
Yeah, she could really be dramatic when she needed.
Mm. And I think that was the special gift from Course. Course was like, so yeah, you can chase me. So we all know Corsi, who is able to reach light speed. But for Peaches, she was basically super slowly, but just, you know, right enough walking away from Peach, so Peaches could basically go after her, which looked so funny in the aviary. Peaches hunting the Course.
Yeah, that was super cute.
Because he was doing the game for her, so Peaches could get the feeling.
So cute. It's like parrots have emotional intelligence.
Oh, I think they have.
Oh, they do. We were talking about that, Dr. Friedman, in that class where someone had said something about them having emotions, and her comment was, well, certainly they do, but they're not human emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Emotions
better.
are just, they're quick responses to circumstances that, you know, can save you from being attacked by a tiger or something. That's really what emotions are based on. Yeah, but I mean, she had such a wide variety of emotions. You could hear it in her voice. She'd say hello, or she'd go, hello.
Hello.
You're not paying attention to me. Hello. Hello. She'd talk real quiet. She'd go, hello. Hello, I love you. Love you.
I love Peach.
You say I love you to her, and she'd say, I love you too.
Mm. And sometimes I have the feeling she mixed all up, like I love you, I peach you, I Pikachu peach you.
I love you,
Yes.
Pikachu.
She's a poet. Getting creative.
Absolutely. So GTH would like to know if the air conditioning is running less now.
Yeah, it's not as hot. And keep the house about 79 degrees, 80 degrees, and it's not running as much. This room, that's not necessarily a good thing because it gets the sun in the morning at this time of year, so it heats up, and the rest of the house doesn't heat up that much. So I sometimes have to turn the air conditioner up a little bit more just to get this room where they can handle it. But right now it's about 80 in here. Fahrenheit, of course. If it was 80 centigrade, I wouldn't be talking. I would be like George Carlin said. He says, well, maybe they're down there and they're screaming up at you.
So it looks like KK is hammering the heck out of you again. Yeah, KK hasn't got to know our peaches. So the other ones look all a little bit like, oh, something is going on. I think, or they still know the name Peaches. They know how Don called them, each individual, and I guess they know we are talking today a lot about her, obviously.
And they see her picture on the wall.
Peaches, remember Peaches?
Oh,
Yeah,
Cecil.
he's
Yeah, he
looking-
looks sad when you see it.
Yeah, that's reflective look he does. Hi, Pete.
Yeah.
Hello,
You miss
Cecil.
your friend, though, don't you, Cecil? We miss her too.
Mm.
Ah, I'm thinking it must be going way past. No, we're not past time.
No,
I forgot.
bueno.
I started early because I had to get all these cameras going, and finally got KK to beat my hand instead of trying to tear the camera down. Although he did change the angle a little bit. It's a little higher than I had it set, but that's the way it goes. I have some stories. There was one time where I had somebody who had relinquished a bird to us, and she and her boyfriend were here, and they had Peaches out, and it was a nice day, probably, really just perfect weather outside, and they had her on the lawn, and she liked to walk on the lawn. So, but they kept running her back and forth. I said, you don't want to tire her out because if she gets tired, her neck hurts. And they wouldn't listen to me, but they kept doing it. So the guy picked her up. I said, don't you drop her. And right after I said that, man, Peaches, her neck was hurting. So she just bit the heel of his hand really hard. Didn't drop her though. He didn't drop her. He held, and when
That's a good
when
parrot
let
person.
loose, he didn't even know anything about parrots. Like the
No.
first time he ever had one. And
He just knew not to drop the peach.
I explained. I said she's got 6 fused vertebrae in her neck, and if you drop her, it could really hurt her. So don't drop her. And he didn't. It took me about 5 minutes to get him all cleaned up and bandaged and everything.
He had a souvenir.
I warned him. I said, you can't run her. You can't get her tired, because if she gets tired, she'll start biting. And it's
She
just
gets
because she's
cranky.
in pain. No, she gets in pain.
Just from the
Too.
pain.
Mm. I think
Is there
that was the
something-
only times Peaches actually bit when she was really in pain.
Yeah. And I only got nipped by her a few times, and it was just because she was in pain. I learned to be able to see it in her face, her eyes, the shape of the eye. It would get oval, which is what happens with all the cockatoos if they're in pain or they're scared or something. Their eyes turn oval or they're aggressive. So I could see it, but it was pretty rare for her to get nippy. But that was bizarre because he picked right. I mean, he goes to pick her up. I said, if she bites you, you can't drop her. You could really hurt her. And then he picked her up, and bam, she just nailed him.
Mm.
Although she was a pretty tough girl, she had some long drops from the aviary and from the couch and various places that she'd fall off sometimes. So she was tough.
She was a lot tougher than she looked, but Like that one video I had that was the guy in that video that I just made. You see that person sitting next to me, you see her looking up at me, and then she walks over to the guy who's making toys next to us. And that's the way volunteers are. And he helped for about 5 months making toys, and then he was gone. Just bam, not a word, just gone. But she would go over next to him and he'd pet her, and it seemed like every new person that came in that she met, she found some way to nip them a little bit. Not hard, but I think she was just testing. This is a good person because they can take a nip. I don't know, but she would do it once and I'd never see it do it again.
I think several of them do that, don't they?
Coco was good at that too. Coco met. If they spent more than 5 minutes with her, she would nip them every time. And then after that, she wouldn't do it again. She would just do it that once. I'm breaking this person in. We've had some incredibly special birds here, Coco and Murray and Chloe and Peaches. But Peaches, she was just, no one's ever going to be like her again. She was not like any other bird I've ever been around. I mean, Cecil's pretty tolerant, but he's also pretty wild sometimes too. She would play with toys, but she played with them pretty quietly. But he'd get a toy and start beating on you with it, right? Right, Cecil?
That's right, Cecil.
I've never seen anything like. I've never met anyone like her. Feathered or unfeathered.
Yeah.
Feathered or unfeathered. I like that.
And the thing with Peaches as well is she was the one that people really get drawn to online because she is interested in the camera and interested in people, whereas with Coco and Chloe and stuff, as much as we enjoy watching them, we didn't really know them the way that we knew Peaches.
Yeah, Coco was a character too. She was so quiet when she came to me, and she was living in a double wide, in a trailer park with an older couple, and they had to keep her quiet. So she was quiet, and before long she was tough and just never putting up with anything. She had some of the qualities of Peaches, but not the. But she wasn't sweet to everyone. She wasn't mean to anybody, but she wasn't sweet to everyone. Where Peaches was. She was just.
Yeah, Coco was her own person for sure.
That one picture of Coco where she's holding a pine nut and it's empty, and she's looking right at me. It's because she just opened it and there was nothing inside. So, and it's like, okay, you gave, sort of like, okay, this one, I worked hard, opened it, and there's nothing in there. I want another one.
Mm.
Fair is fair.
Usually, Peaches would be vocal about that kind of thing. She would, if there weren't any blueberries in her bowl, if I forgot to put them in there, which is rare, I would hear about it.
You would hear about it, or you would find her on the floor.
It sounds like Peaches had an innate sense of justice to some extent.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember her kind of 7-dish breakfast done made every day for her, so she got encouraged to eat.
No.
And even then, every now and then she tried to climb down the little, I don't know, where this vehicle she was on.
The hostess trolley.
Mm.
That was funny.
Absolutely. That was so 100% Peaches, like little eating, a little climbing down, little upseiling.
Yeah, she got the 7-course meal every day, and you had to put them in little things because she couldn't, because of her neck, she couldn't stretch her neck well without pain. So, and originally, I was told that she was just finicky. She would only eat out of these little green bowls. But when I saw the way she moved, I saw the range of motion wasn't normal. So got X-rays done and found out that she had the fused vertebrae. So as long as you kept the food in like lids from jars where she could reach it easy, then she could eat without any pain.
And there's a question from Bluebird who wanted to know how old she was, and we don't actually know. We know Don had her about 10 years, maybe a bit longer, and she was fully adult when Don got her, and she'd been through a couple of homes before then, so probably the minimum age she could have been was about 20, but she could have been way older than that. We just don't really know.
She was an old soul.
Yeah, unlike dogs and cats, they live so long. Usually, when they end up at a sanctuary, they're fairly old. But Cecil was young when he got here.
And there's not really any way to tell how old they are because they don't have visible signs of aging, really. At least not to human eyes.
No, not to anybody. It's because the telomeres, which is what repairs your DNA, theirs don't break down like ours do. Mammals, the telomeres don't. The time you're 30, your telomeres are not replacing your DNA properly. There's lots of problems, but these guys don't have that problem. So, but she held on. She held on to life. The last 4 months were really tough, but she'd close her eyes, but when she'd open them, she'd be there. She'd be there for however long, and then she'd go back to sleep and wake up. When she was always there when she woke up. So the last night, she put her wings across my chest. And when I found her the next morning, she was holding onto the bars of the cage, the bottom bar of the cage. And I had put a towel across there for her, and she had moved the towel so she could hold. That's how much she loved life. She held on to the end, literally held on.
Yeah, she wouldn't let you put her on the bottom of the cage. She wanted you to put her up on her perch.
Well, actually, she wanted me to let her climb up to the top of the perch. But that last night, she couldn't make the climb. So I knew it was over. She couldn't climb up. And I tried to put her up there, and she wouldn't let me. So she wanted to she wanted to do it on her own, and she couldn't. So I figured, that was it. So
that's how she was.
She was stubborn when it came to enjoying her life and wanting to do everything on her own.
Yeah, I think that was her letting you know that you did the right thing and that she was going on her terms. Because we had wondered, whether it was okay to keep her going or whether we should, make the tough decision. But we thought, no, let her do it her way. I think that was her saying, yeah, Dad, you did the right thing. You kept me going as long as I wanted.
Well, I have to thank you and Anna Marie for that because I didn't know what to do. But you pointed it out. She was always there when she came out of it. When she'd fall asleep and then she'd be there. It was her. The day before, actually 2 days before she died, she had stopped talking. And that was a sign that it was getting close when she stopped talking. But because she was a talker, she loved to talk on the phone.
Yeah. But she still looked up at you with those eyes and she was still wanted to be with you. So it was the right thing.
Hey, Don, do you remember what the last thing Peaches said to you was?
You're asking
No.
Don if he can remember.
That's a good point, Eleanor.
Well, I can't remember days and times, that kind of thing, dates and that. But the last thing she actually said to me, I don't. I remember she stopped talking. Knowing her, it was either hello or I love you.
Yeah, I was going to say, knowing her, it would be hello.
But that morning when I went in there and she didn't say hello to me, I knew that it was close because she always would. She was sitting on her piano though, that much I know. She was sitting on the piano, but she didn't say hello. And I said, "Hello, Peaches," and she just looked at me and I went, "Oh, okay, almost time, huh?"
Yeah.
Yeah. We try to cheer her up with little messages, voice messages from us, and talking sweet to her and saying hello and Peaches and doing her Peachy song. So at least she had friends answering her and knew all the friends are with her. So, and I think that was the way she wanted to go, like surrounded by friends.
Hi,
Hello,
KK.
KK.
KK, yeah, KK is a good little talker now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a good talker. KK Bird, he's so quiet until he starts yelling, aren't you?
Oh, Rita says that Peaches said hi to her on the phone the day before she died, so she must have had enough energy to say hi to one of her friends on the phone. So that's good.
Yeah, she was the most social being I've ever known. She just always wanted to make friends. I was lucky to be able to be with her. It was a tough situation at that place, but we were all cramped. You need to back off, Pippa. You need to turn around. I know you didn't mean anything, but you need to turn around. Turn around this way. Cecil isn't going to mess with you.
Yeah, I think it is a gift to actually have known the Peach. I would never want to miss. I think that's true for everyone else who has ever met the Peach while she was there with us. And she seems to still inspire Peach, a lot of people by the wisdom of Peaches Don is posting every day. He has done it already, I think, when Peaches was still alive, but we decided to go on with that because her wisdom will be always with us.
Yeah, when I'm looking at quotes, I always try to find something that she would appreciate, that she would agree with. So.
Well, they're very, very uplifting, and I look forward to seeing them each day. Kind of help me adjust my mindset. So always nice to see Peaches and her uplifting messages.
And lovely pictures as well.
Most of the time with Peaches greeting a flower and then some encouraging quote. That's absolutely lovely.
Yep. And I love the mailbox pictures when she's on her walk to the mailbox with the sky, the flowers, everything. Those are the best.
And yelling hello at the cars driving by.
Yep.
She'd get people to stop and talk to her. I mean, there weren't many people going up that little road. There were only a few houses up there, but whenever we went to get the mail and any car came through, almost every car would stop for her,
That's so peachy.
I think we had one neighbor up there who would just drive by, and I'm sure that neighbor doesn't have any friends. Yeah.
Sounds awful.
If you can't see this bird who's just dying to talk to you, and you just keep grumbling and look forward, and it was somebody who lived way up on the hill, I think. But well, I think we've gone over a little today.
Yeah, I think before we close down, we should all do a Peachy song together.
Yes.
Yep.
I think that's the tribute we can give to the Peach, singing her one and only Peachy song.
Shall we do it on 3?
Commence.
Okay.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, 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 beep.
And the guys in the chat can do it too. You can type.
Many a beep.
All right.
Yeah,
Many
So
beeps.
many
lots of
beeps.
beeps. And KK is joining in as well. He's saying KK.
And Shuggy is coming over. Oh my.
Oh,
If you could finally say hi to us. We've never heard any word from Sugar than whining. So
Well, we've had to go.
yeah, that's true.
Well, she does say hi. The only thing I've ever heard her say is hi.
The thing is she never does it in front of camera like Peaches.
Yeah.
So Peaches was quiet, and when there was a camera, she was hi, hello, how are you? Hello, Pikachu Peach. Hello. Hi, Shug.
There's the wine. There's the sugar wine.
We're
There she
talking
is.
about your auntie friendo,
Mm-hmm.
about the peach.
That's okay, KK. You get a little territorial there. Just calm down.
The peach was shocked when she first saw the sugar. It was like, what? There are other pink birds?
Female pink ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with this picture? Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for being here today, and we'll see you next Monday.
And thanks for the stream, Don, and thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah, thanks for
Amy.
coming and giving a tribute to the peach and joining us today. And it's a special day for the sanctuary. First year without the peach.
Thanks, Amy, and thanks, Eleanor, for your moderation. And
thanks, Erin, for your poem.
yeah,
yes,
anytime.
indeed. That was wonderful.
Anything for Peaches.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Or
Thanks,
hello.
Don.